Hello and welcome to the Party Dungeon. This is Dungeon Party. As always, I'm your DM, a little pioneer boy, Blake Peebles, and your cast will be joining us shortly. But before that, some announcements and a recap. Am I sitting on my mouse? So the announcements first. First off, I'd like to thank our 3 Patreon patrons. I know, right? Nick, Elliot, and Big Money. Thank you for being our Patreon patrons. You are all thebomb.com. You're the best. I would also like to direct you guys over to our Patreon because they are a-changin' over there. There's some cool, interesting new things you might want to check out. They'll be fun. Other than that, please like, subscribe, comment on our videos. We're a tiny channel, growing real slowly, and everything you do will help us out so very much. And all those things are free. So, I mean, what are you losing, I guess? Except maybe dignity. And yes, that is all the announcements so far. Keep your eye out for our Halloween episode on Halloween proper. And other than that, let's get to the recap. Recap time. Cool. So, last time on Dungeon Party, our crew returned back to Bizzleben to find that there had been another grave robbery, this one happening during the day. They went to talk to Ergon, the gravekeeper, about it. He was very mad, didn't want to talk to them. So, of course, Thuvius charmed him, which got them a lot of answers, but potentially made them enemy in the future. They followed some tracks up north to where it looked like a body had been laid, where tracks continued to go north, but also some tracks went east towards the Gurgul Swamp. Interesting. Once they decided to continue to follow the tracks up north, where they found an encampment, where the 2 bodyguards of Ekbard Lindley, the halfling who had given them the contract in the first place, had imprisoned him and seemed to be in cahoots with a hobgoblin who was at the head of this grave robbing business. They made quick work of the group and ended the grave robbing threat, and that is where we ended the episode last time. So without further ado, jump on in there, have some fun. I'll be here on my little house on the prairie in this yellow room, waiting for my death to come. Enjoy!
I continue running towards the boy.
Okay.
And I grab his head and lay on hands.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you see what he did?
And I'll do if I say a number and if it's higher than if it's if I
whatever
say,
number you say is how much you lose.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I'm just gonna say 8.
Cool.
You lose?
Well, he heals you for 8 points.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Are you at full?
Where you at?
I'm at just 1 below full.
9. Wait, that's not fair.
That's better, right?
No.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 23, how would you describe yourself?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, no, the camp has fallen very quiet, though there is 2 frozen statues and the smell of burning hobgoblin.
Well,
I'd like to go approach our patron.
Mr.
Cool. He's just sort of
Lindley.
there.
Well, it's about time.
This was not part of the agreement to be paid.
Maybe that is true, but but
Seems this would be bonus work. Overtime, as it were.
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Hey. There we go. At advantage, that's a 19 and a 17, so a 19.
he goes. Well, I suppose I can't argue with that. I'll add an extra 50 gold for every one of you.
Seems agreeable to the group. I'm not with the group, but I'm just gonna assume that's agreeable. Are there keys? Can I just open this thing?
There is a lock. Sorry, I'm trying to charge this.
Oh crap.
There is a lock, though there aren't just keys like they are.
Let me just try the lock. I got these tools.
Sure.
What's the roll for these tools? Dex?
Yeah, it's your Dex plus proficiency.
Yeah.
If you're proficient.
Well, yeah.
I figure.
Can you have thieves' tools and not be proficient in them?
You can have anything.
Why would you?
That's a different question.
That's a 11.
11's gonna be enough for this lock. It's not very sturdily created.
And I'll open the lock for him.
No, thank God! And he just immediately sprints his way over to the boxes and starts rummaging through them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is he completely naked, or is he just...
He has like a
You said
loincloth
both
on.
earlier. I just needed to know if Hog was out canonically. But I'll make a note of that.
For the audiences, they need to know.
Yeah,
They
they
know
need
the
to know the
picture.
picture.
He's got a loincloth. He's not hanging down per
For all the
se.
fan art.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Then I'm gonna draw.
If we draw fan art, is it canon?
I guess that's my job to
I think it's
decide.
up to us.
Yeah, he's got a loincloth.
If he's running, if he starts making a beeline to the barrels, can I grab him?
You are outside, so no.
I mean, like, could we have like headed in?
You're heading in by the time he gets to the barrel. Like, he's already there.
Okay, can I still grab him?
You can go up to him and grab him, sure.
Yeah.
Curious.
What? I need my clothes!
Wonderful.
Are you lifting him up?
Yeah.
Oh! By what?
Loincloth.
That arm.
You've got him an atomic wedgie?
Nerd.
I'd slow down. There's things that are not yours in there.
I just want my clothes!
That seems a reasonable request.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
men have to have his dignity.
Once Finn comes around, he's like,
I'm gonna cover Finn's
He starts to
eyes.
put his clothes on.
We're gonna knock that over.
Yeah, be careful with that guy. There's a light behind there. No, you're fine. Yeah, he puts on his clothes and he grabs several small bags. These are mine.
Okay.
I have documents to prove it. If you need those. And then he digs through a little more and he pulls out a necklace. This was my mother's.
We found it.
Are you requesting payment?
yeah, pay up.
So what was the deal? Was originally 550, and then I added an additional 50 for each of you,
I negotiated that.
which is another
160 each.
160. Okay. And he does in fact divvy out 160 gold to each of you.
Hell. Yeah.
Guess we can finally buy some arrows.
I give my
Glasses.
160
Get yourself glasses.
There.
I give my 160 to you.
Well,
That was agreed upon.
we only agreed upon the original 110. Would you like 50?
Why not? Sure.
Also, I never got any apple pie, so... if...
Night's still young.
I've mixed... I'd like what?
He said jokingly.
I just don't know what you're trying to do here.
Maybe the tavern has some apple pie.
That could be true. Okay.
I think with 160 gold, you could persuade the tavern keeper to make you apple pie.
Okay, well, I'll say now, the rest of these contents are the property of the town. We should carry them back.
We're not gonna.
Theoretically, they're the property of the dead people of this town and several towns nearby.
Right, but if there are living descendants, we
Can't just leave it here.
No.
I wasn't saying that, but we could look through it. I'll take the goods.
That would be grave robbing.
Yeah, I mean,
With
We
extra
didn't
steps.
rob the grave. We are robbing barrels.
I'm gonna attempt to lift a barrel. I have a -1 in strength.
Don't even roll. You're not lifting it.
Here, Frank, let me help you.
We could,
I'm gonna minor illusion lifting a barrel. It's not a real barrel.
No.
you like to lift a barrel out of the barrel.
There are 7 barrels.
There are 8 barrels.
There are 8 barrels. One of them's a very small barrel, though. You're able to lift one. You're probably able to lift one. The 3 of you, you can make checks.
Listen, I argue about lifting
Is
barrels.
one of the barrels like empty because it was filled with
It's less full. Yeah, one of them is less full. There's a fucking lot of gold here. Like, this is a hoard.
Probably let the town know we can't carry it all back.
Yeah, we could just tell them the location, I guess. If we disguise it a little bit, hide it a little bit.
Oh! That won't work once I leave.
Yeah. We can do some, like,
Put some
regular
branches.
I
camouflage.
can
Yeah.
make a full-size barrel. It has to be, it's within a 5-foot cube. That's a barrel.
That's a barrel. Cubic.
That's a pile of barrels.
We could also just roll them.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let's
Roll some barrels.
Immediately up a 20-foot incline.
Can we go? Oh,
Let's
that's
try
a
it.
question.
I tell our halfling friend, you can take the lighter one.
I'm not carrying these.
You're not carrying them. You're gonna roll them.
I'm not doing that.
How are you getting it back?
That's not my problem. I've been abducted, robbed, and bereft of any sort of trust in this area. I'm leaving.
Well, would you like a ride back to town?
No, I'm not going back there.
What?
I'm leaving.
Where are you from?
I'm from the opposite side of the country. I'm from Alanon in the Bergen Coalition.
You wanna walk alone this late at night?
I don't trust any of you. The last people I trusted to do something for me kidnapped me and stripped me naked. And good day. He just starts to walk out
What
of
about the vampires?
The creature just.
We've been paid.
Told you so.
Let's return these as
Start
best we
rolling.
can.
Cool.
What's a barrel rolling check?
Fuck, dude, I don't know. We'll call it strength, but it'll be easier than lifting one. Especially since you're literally about to roll it up a 20-foot hill.
I have a -2.
I rolled a 3 minus 1.
You can't even... Any luck?
I rolled a 5.
You get it a little further than him, but...
-2, and
not
you're
much.
calling me weak.
The rest of
11.
you get it. When it gets to the hill, it's
How much?
not great.
How much does each barrel weigh?
It depends. It varies, but I'd say like 100 pounds.
Do this. What if I help with your barrel?
much
The two
easier.
of us
Oh, we
just
perhaps we
together.
each get a barrel. Yeah, of course. I had to a little
Put
help.
the stuff out of the barrels and fill their pockets with it. And then walk to the town and empty their pockets of it.
Just throw it out there. Still same amount of weight.
I know.
I could mage hand 9.9 pounds.
23.
23. You get. Yeah, you're fine. You're struggling. It's hard to get it up the hill, but you managed to get it up.
I got an 18.
18. It takes you longer than him, but you also can get a barrel up the hill.
Okay. I think they'll be fine. Oh, yeah, okay. I think they'll be fine once we get up the hill, but
Feather
you wanna
slaps.
get the barrels up the hill.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get all the barrels up the hill, and then they'll be fine.
It's
after
gonna
that.
take like an hour to do that.
Wait. How about? This is going to take a long time.
We just.
What
Hard
if we just
work takes a
what-
long time.
Hang on. We send someone back
Yeah.
to tell the townsfolk to come get their barrels.
Would you make them come with carts? and-
Right. Anyone who has had a family member's grave robbed. Perhaps the Minotaur would be willing to help his reputation. He's a
Yeah, I'm sure.
strapping He might be mad at me.
Okay, that does sound reasonable and
Who is the fastest
right.
one back to?
But we already rolled our barrels up the hill.
Well, you guys.
Well, you rolled 2 barrels up the hill. We'll say this
You
is
two
before.
take those 2 to prove we have it. We
Yeah.
stay here, watch
We
these
chill.
barrels.
Okay, I don't like the idea of splitting up at night, especially with this thing here. Well, let's
How
just
far
leave
away
the
are we?
barrels.
How late is it? How late is it?
We could bury.
Like
we could
7 or
bury-
8?
we could-
It was
Area.
twilight-ish when you got
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'll say it's been
Yeah, it's
half an hour
yeah.
since you've been here, so
Okay.
you're getting into dusk.
All right.
Let's just leave the barrels here. I'll go back. Let them know they can come back in the morning for them.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
want to bury them? Perhaps. It would probably
It'll
take
be
several
fine.
hours to bury.
Yeah,
all
it will
those
be
barrels,
fine. Let's
but-
just go.
Yeah, okay. Well,
All
We can try to do. Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
You're all going back.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, you begin to walk back. fairly uneventful. As you're leaving, though, you see that the statues have thawed and now they're just corpses lying on the ground.
Cute.
The Garrick is pretty much burned through at this point. He's just sort of a charred husk because you just left him in there. Charbroiled hobgob.
I wasn't gonna reach my
Good
hand in a
check.
We
fire.
have
Check the
Charlie.
bodies for anything?
Did you?
Can we?
You can.
Can I? Yeah.
I guess.
See what's going on? Have anything on them?
I'm gonna tell you, they don't have really anything on them. They each of them have a mace, and he has a great sword. But
Of course, there was no roll.
what'd you roll?
That one.
Yeah, there's nothing of use on them. Yeah, so you I guess some crossbow bolts, if anything. Well, they're heavy crossbow bolts, so. You go back. It's solidly nighttime at this point, and as such, things are starting to feel a little uncomfortable. Regardless of whether night is like your thing, there's some strange energy going on in this area. Night does not feel safe.
Do you guys
the
feel
slightest.
what I'm feeling?
Can I do another divine sense?
Sure.
I do another.
Within 60 feet, there are no entities of undead or fiend or anything.
Yeah.
But you get the strong sense that they're around.
Yeah.
Okay. We should probably hurry.
Yeah.
You make your way back until you get to the place where you found the body imprint before the muddy tracks going off into a different direction. And as you get there, you all hear a sound, a very loud, ear-splitting screech, accompanied by the flap of wings.
Oh boy.
I say down.
I ducked out.
It's
Down.
Stealth, all.
I should know. Stealth. No.
I get down quickly.
11?
Okay, can we all just hold up numbers? What we rolled? 1, 2, 3.
No, actually, I can't.
17.
I thought we all did that.
11? Yeah.
18.
Okay, so the three of you duck effectively. You just you go, but your bad knee gives out, and you groan the whole way down, and you just drop face first into the ground, slam your head down, and go, "Oh, again!" You get the sense you're not very well hidden as a group.
Can
The wings are getting louder.
I over my friend? You're just lying in the middle of the road.
I'm flat on the ground.
You're not really on a road at this point. You're sort of on a
I'm in the
field.
mud.
Can I minor illusion within a 5-foot square over him, just ground? So anything looking from above would just see ground.
Sure. Of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also
You'd have to be looking
look up and see
pretty
ground.
much straight down, but actually don't know if it's a long way.
The wings are getting louder. Louder.
Can I dive in a bush?
Sure. You dive into a bush.
I've gotten no.
And you all feel a rumble as nearby something has landed.
So, I'm gonna hacked weapons, summon a rapier. Just wait.
Alright.
Can I ready?
Sure. As you're looking up from the bush, you do see, and those of you on the ground, maybe 30, 40 feet away, there is a large, just gray-skinned, veiny nightmare beast. It looks sort of like a gargoyle, but the size of a small giant, with just huge veins coming through its wings. It has giant fangs, and there's blood dripping down from it. It has tiny, beady little red eyes and huge ears that go up like this, and a bat-like snout. Has no arms. Its arms are on the end of its wings, and it's just it's fucking huge. It's I think literally the size category huge. Let's get some scary music. I don't really have very much scary
Danger
music.
approaches or whatever.
Yeah, well, I have this one, but I don't think it's gonna work.
That's not the one I'm thinking of.
Back to the group chat. Yeah, I made a level 3 encounter.
screw balance.
Maybe it's level 3, or maybe, or maybe sometimes.
To be fair,
It's just time to run.
to be fair, in I think the first Wizard's adventure they ever published, at level 3 you fight a green dragon.
It's there, and it doesn't seem to notice any of you yet. You can certainly attest that to your quick thinking, both of you.
How far is it?
40-ish feet away.
40-ish.
It instills fear into the deepest parts of all of your hearts. This is not something you want to trifle with.
I hold my breath.
How long is it here for?
It's sniffing, and it's coming closer.
Can I recast Minor Illusion if I have to?
Sure,
It
yeah.
only lasts a minute.
Yeah, it hasn't been a minute yet, but like you can re-up your cast. But it is like sniffing and like slowly walking its way in your direction. And it's coming real close to the people who are just laying on the ground. Like it's 20 feet out now.
I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy, some weak animal cry, as far away from us as I can within 30
feet.
Yeah, 30 feet. 30 feet
So
away.
about 10 feet behind it.
Yeah. Just a
Oh, so just like a
creature going, ah!
and turns around like immediately you see a tail like whip out around it, like goes over your heads, yeah. And it just starts bounding in the opposite direction.
Okay, let's go.
So which way are you? Are you running directly away from it, which is towards the swamp? Or are you running
Back to the barrels?
back to town or back to barrels? It's going this way. Barrels is this way. Town is this way. Away from it is this way.
Well, we shouldn't discuss it. Would we?
Who's run? Who's you? You led the way. So which way did you run?
Oh, I did. Town.
Town. Just fucking booking it.
Yeah.
You start to run, and I don't know if any of you are looking back, but a couple minutes, about half a minute later, you hear a very enraged screech, and then the beating of wings once more. And as you look up, this thing is fucking following you.
Oh, well, yeah. Into town. Cool.
Is it catching up?
Well, it's got like a 20-foot wingspan.
Flying speed of 30?
First session destroyed the innocent town.
Can wait? Let me just look at range real quick. Can you? Is it like more than 60 feet away?
As of right now, it's more than 60 feet away, yeah.
Okay. Well, when it's 60 feet away, tell me.
One beat of the wings, it's within
Yeah.
60 feet.
Can it make a wisdom saving throw?
You can. That is a 12.
Oh, nope. It is commanded to halt.
Cool. It just
I say stop.
No.
it just stops in the air. How long does that last?
Around.
6 seconds. Cool. I mean, that'll give you a head start. You're
Oh wait,
now.
no, wait. Can I? No, I can't change it now.
That's
Yeah.
what you've done for now. But you've given yourself a little bit of a headways. Stops for a minute, and then comes back after you. Just chasing you through the night. You're like running, like jumping over hedges and shit. Like it is. You can see the lights of the town in the distance, but you can hear this thing catching up. It's probably 80 feet back now, and approaching quickly.
Can I minor illusion some like a blast of fire going back towards it, like small.
Sure.
But to see if I can get it to like weave
Sure.
to slow down a little.
Make a deception check.
Ooh, this is one I can do. Maybe not. 14.
14's good enough for this thing. Yeah, you blast the fire and it goes off to the side. It's sort of one beat of its wings. It just flies up and over to the side, taking it off course for a minute. It gives you a little bit more headway. You can at this point see the town in front of you. You're still a little ways out, but you can see the town. Well, you can see the graveyard in front of you.
I keep looking at spells in the book.
flies around and swings back around to get back on course with you. Still about 80 feet back. No.
I don't know that will work.
I think.
Yeah,
Going?
I mean, I'm gonna try to keep doing this if I can. but
Sure. Make another deception
The
check.
second one of them hits him, he'll know.
What?
The second one hits him, he'll know it's not real. That's a 7.
Yeah. This time it goes into him and it just flies straight through it.
I'm just running. I have nothing to.
Well, you're running.
Alright, how far?
It's probably 60 feet back now at this point, and you are about 60 feet away from the graveyard wall.
I'm gonna cast another chaos bolt.
Okay.
I think. How about 23 to hit?
Yeah, 23 will hit.
Okay. And it's gonna be 11 points of. I know. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. 17 points of lightning damage.
Lightning damage. Cool. As it crackles through its body and it makes it sort of like stop for a minute. It didn't expect after the last thing, just didn't do anything to it. It flew right into it. Stopped for a minute and backed up.
Kill it.
With a dash action in the next 6 seconds, you were at the wall.
Yeah.
Most of you.
Is there anyone in view? Is there anyone here?
Minotaur?
It is dead of
Minotaur?
night.
Find the Minotaur?
You're at the wall of the graveyard. There doesn't seem to be many people here. Though you're raising quite a commotion.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And it starts to fly up even closer towards you.
He starts screaming.
Are you gonna go in to the graveyard, or are you staying outside of the graveyard?
I mean, I'm running.
Yeah.
This thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Graveyard.
stopping for any reason.
Boom, leap over the wall. As it does so as well as it. You get into the graveyard. It is coming down on you. It is gaining rapidly. But as it goes to the walls of the graveyard, it sort of bursts backwards, and there's a flash of just sort of white light. Sort of flies backwards, screeching in anger, and then comes down and tries to like claw it with its foot, and there's every time it hits it, you can see a ripple. There seems to be like a white dome around this
Sanctified grounds.
graveyard.
Holy thing.
And it tries several more times and then screams in anger, you assume, and then flies over the town to the south.
Oh, we're gonna.
Cool. So yeah, you're in the graveyard, and Batboy just flew away. Phoenix pointed something out off camera. Command doesn't work against undead creatures, so you know that this thing is not undead.
Oh. Oh, cool.
Also, for the record, it wasn't like a, actually, it was,
Usually.
there's no good way to talk out of this.
No, he wasn't being a dick about it.
No, I wasn't. No,
That's like the
I
hardest
didn't.
part of D&D, though, is knowing like where to draw the
Where the
line between
rules,
rules
yeah.
and fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you
Well, fun,
here?
yeah.
Also, real quick.
I was ready.
Also, real quick. Divine Smite. That's a spell, right? Or is it-
You
no,
smite.
it's
You smite. You can use a spell slot to use a smite.
Because I cast Shield of Faith, which is
Yeah.
concentration, and then I Divine Smited. Does that cancel out the Shield of Faith?
No, your divine smite is
No,
just a
it's
thing you
not
can do.
concentration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never Paladin before. So
Yeah.
still.
You can just use a spell slot, and you can decide if you're gonna smite after you hit.
Oh,
Which is-
really?
Yeah.
Which is
That's why
busted.
You
Yeah.
can wait till you crit, and then you can be like, oh, that's my.
I mean, if you splash rogue and then paladin, you're just rolling.
Yeah, like rogue,
Yeah.
like assassin.
I mean,
And
it's,
maybe like a champion fighter, get that,
Get that
or
next
be it like, or
improved
be a
crit.
half orc. Get-
or just become a half orc.
or just be an half orc from the beginning. Or die and then be resurrected.
Yeah, quick reincarnation.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You're in the
Did you
graveyard.
cut that, Blake?
Okay.
Did you cut that?
Only time will tell.
None of this is gonna be cut. This is gonna be 1 4-hour thing.
I'm not gonna do it like I used to, Peter. I have more time now.
I'm trying to figure out how I can gesture and the camera will pick it up.
Cool. We're in the graveyard.
Oh, so this force field's a thing.
Did I do that?
No.
Perhaps, maybe we should...
Sanctified ground.
Can I Arcana check it? See what I know about this.
Can I religion check?
Sure.
Perhaps we should find Mr. Grave
11.
Digger.
Is magic like this?
Super.
Something about this area is protected.
But can I see if it's like? Probably not.
15.
15. Sir, it is. This seems to be hallowed ground of some
Yeah,
sort.
hallowed ground.
Not like sanctify or whatever that spell is. This is something sort of not spell related, but this is an ancient sort of magic going on here.
Hallowed ground.
So, why? How? Is are
Can't keep
all
out grave
surface towns on hallowed ground? Is this an above ground dweller thing?
I mean, it's a graveyard.
It sure was convenient, right? But you wouldn't assume a graveyard to be hallowed. In fact, I would think the opposite.
Well, religious ceremonies happen in graveyards.
I suppose so.
You never know who's buried in one.
To be fair, I might kind of feel like we should sleep here for the night.
Right here,
But,
you're standing on a grave right now.
They're dead.
right, but the monster didn't hear.
It also didn't attack the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could go back in the inn.
We could
To
go
the
back
top.
to the inn.
Oh, I do have gold now. In fact, I have gold for everybody.
You've already paid for. Oh, you only paid for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and even then barely.
Wait, it's nighttime. Can I see if the Minotaur's in the graveyard on the night shift?
His
I
lights
agree.
are on, and the lights are on in the shack.
Okay, I'm gonna head over there.
I'll stay back.
Ooh, can I come with?
Who's going to Minotaur?
I'd be mad at all of
You too. Cool. He opens the door, just glowers at you.
Oh.
I'm just letting you know right now, we dealt with the grave robbers. They have a camp, and how many leagues away from to the north of here? There's 3 of them. There's barrels full of valuables. That's it.
He knows he was charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Information related.
You don't want to warn him about the beast?
I'm assuming he's going out in the day.
He works at night.
He works here.
I swear.
We got chased by a giant flying, disgusting beast. Be careful about that.
You don't want to ask him about the hallowed ground in the graveyard? It was a last question.
He doesn't open the door. Go away! Get out of my graveyard!
Hallowed ground, huh?
Get out!
Okay.
Back to the
Go
town.
back to the tavern.
You make your way back to the tavern. You go inside, and Greg seems surprised to see you all. He says, when you didn't come home at night, I figured you'd left or were dead. It's not safe out there.
I quite like the night.
You would.
Can you? Who would we alert for that to get a message to the whole town?
McGillicuddy's got a pretty big mouth.
We've found the things stolen.
He found the grave robbers.
Oh, they're disposed of.
Oh.
The valuables taken have been. They're safe.
I'll let people know. Good work. I hope you were paid by that noisy little Laughlin man.
Yes. Speaking of which, rooms?
Oh yes. Yep. 3 gold apiece. When he looks at you, just sort of.
But 3 gold apiece? What happened to 10?
Yeah, rates have gone down.
Here's 15 gold.
Oh.
15. I don't need it.
I thought you said it's 3 apiece.
Oh, you're paying for everyone.
Yes.
How generous. I didn't know. Well, cool. I have exactly 5 rooms, so. How about them?
Before I go up to my room, I want to come up to Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
And be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
And the woman we saw in the dream, I'm gonna ask him ladies.
A white-haired woman.
Yeah.
Can't say I am familiar with that. Might be the witch. She probably changes her form.
Okay. Thanks.
Not that I've seen the witch. I don't know what she looks like.
Have you seen the red witch?
No, I didn't go. I didn't.
I think you've seen the witch.
I didn't. Gotta get to bed. Good night.
They've all left.
Yeah, I assume you all went up to your
bed.
Yeah.
Making a nice little blanket
Take
nest.
my 4-hour trance.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Fucking elves.
So what do I do for the other 4 hours?
Everyone's asleep. We could go see the witch again and we have money.
Getting up really early.
She's asleep. She's a
You're
witch.
getting up at like 4 a.m. Are we taking long rests? I assume?
Yeah, I assume you're all taking long rest.
Yeah.
Cool. So the long rest
Get back on.
is morning again, unless you guys want to do something before morning breaks.
Is there anything silly we could do?
I mean, I need to do some shopping.
I don't,
Clothes are ruined.
I don't think any stores are open at this time.
I'm still used to the drow stores being open only at this time.
How do you do time without the sun? Never been to the Underdark myself.
Well, we know the sun exists, and we are aware of the passage of time.
How do you monitor it? You know?
We look usually through a hole, so we can see the sunlight.
But you look at the sun, but you don't want to. I'm rather confused.
There's the two of us at like the bar at 3 in the morning.
Like completely dark.
I can see.
Yeah, you have dark vision. Doesn't matter.
See, you look at the sun.
We do. We look at the
Oh,
sun.
yeah, of course.
Cool.
Elf banter for the next 3-4
Elf banter.
hours.
You learn about each other's homes.
Cultures and
Cultures, yeah.
Not
Uptown
Not
elf.
that different
Well,
after
you-
all.
I'm a high elf.
Where are you from?
Tell me, DM.
Zymor. Zymor.
I'm more.
Time.
I'm not from Nildor?
Well, because it's not about being a high elf, it's about being a wizard.
Everybody catching on yet? About you at home.
Oh, on your statute, I'm gonna put wizard.
Just put it in quotes.
I'm gonna put wizard in quotes and then have your amount of sneak attacks fucking dice down on the bottom. Yeah, you talk about it. Cool, but morning comes, and with it comes you all waking up. You're all awake. Breakfast is served by Greg once more. Y'all get eggs and bacon, except for Karasu, who gets haggis again.
I got at least bacon.
He wasn't sure if that would be offensive too.
Fine.
Like, grabbed it.
The beak's good for grabbing.
There's a t-shirt.
Okay.
So that's one problem solved. We still don't know where the bodies were going, and we still don't know what that thing was that attacked us last night.
Right.
See if you had any ideas.
No.
I asked Greg about this woman,
Right, we still don't know if she's going to be killed by
yeah.
Mr. Grave.
and he mentioned something about the witch, maybe shapeshift. What did the witch look like?
She was a green tiefling.
Was it green?
Yes.
Oh. Of course, I'm a green t-shirt.
I love it. Has evolved into somebody's like, is that? Just has no idea what's happening.
That's more Peter than Furious.
Wait, like me?
Except green, not
Green, yes.
What?
You
You asked and I answered.
Cool. Was she nice?
She had a certain charm about her.
I mean, compared to some people we've met so far.
She was polite, yes. She was definitely trying to sell her services to us. She's a fortune teller. No, Finn, come on. Try to be an adult, please. Alright, this is going nowhere.
He's just spitting up his milk.
I do think we should perhaps visit the witch again. She may be a little more receptive to us now that we have the coin.
And now that we're not, questioning her for
Of course.
crimes.
She also sells magical items, which we may find useful.
Okay, I say we do that little.
As long as they're not
Enjoy.
dangerous.
Magical items?
Well, some can be. I've had my run-ins with dangerous magical items.
Then you'll know him when you see him. So I'm thinking,
Hey, Blake, can you send me the stats for the thing we talked about? Remember?
It's-
that we never formed.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
it's,
it is what we talked about.
Yeah, it's
Cool,
exactly
cool,
what we
cool,
talked
cool.
about. It's a mystery.
Wow. I actually. I'm sorry, because I also don't know what it is.
okay. And then, I'm saying we have one stone left unturned.
Right. I also need to stop at the general store, so 2 stones.
Alright,
I meant we do our shopping and then we unturn that last stone, which is the swamp.
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
I mean,
Of course.
why?
Why the swamp?
We were hired to do a job. We've done the job. Oh, who am I kidding? I want to see the swamp.
I guess so. But
No.
it could be connected to those dreams.
Oh. Anyone have anything last night?
I had a dream that. Well, actually, I was in a trance all night, so I don't
We don't
know.
dream regularly.
It was straight.
I'm out of here.
Following.
Yeah.
As Alpha
I love that horrible bromance going on between these two. Two high class elves in a low class world. Cool. You're going to Madame Vera's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your way there. For those of you who've been there before, still impressive. For those of you, this is your first time. Very impressive.
We're impressed.
The steps go down, and the voice once again echoes, "Come in. I've been expecting you." In exactly the same way that it did before.
The doorbell.
So you can expect everyone.
Can I see if I can, tell what that is?
Make an Arcana.
That's a 23.
Yeah, that's a spell. That's a spell that it just says
Magic
that.
mouth or something.
Yeah, whenever somebody gets close, the stairs go down and the words happen.
I'm less impressed.
Wait. Guys, can I back everyone up and can the door close?
It doesn't close.
But does the stairs go up?
The stairs do go up.
If I just walk past it and not even stop.
You're just going back in?
No, the stairs would go down here. What if I just do a
Trying to treat it like an automatic door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Every time you walk in and out of the range, they go back up and go back down, and the voice keeps saying,
Can you get a...
I've come in, I've been expecting. The reset doesn't allow for that to happen, but you do manage to do it 3 or 4 times before you hear the same voice say, "For the love of all things holy, please just come in or go away."
Sounds like an invitation.
Everyone pile in.
Oh, it's you.
We've been expecting you.
It's a good business tactic. If I'm telling fortunes, it's good to make people think that they're expected here already. These are your friends, I assume the ones that share your dream?
Yes.
We actually, about that dream, we're here to gain more knowledge about it. Now that we have coin.
Good. What sort of knowledge are you looking for here?
More interpretation, perhaps, of what does it mean? Where will it take place?
I can...
How do we stop the woman in our vision from being hacked apart violently by the gravekeeper in town?
Well, I could,
I could, for 5 gold, take another look at your dream. Alright. This time she's gonna grab her crystal ball, and she's actually, her eyes are gonna glow a little bit, and it becomes a little bit cloudy.
This is much more than last time.
I nudge him over there. I'm like,
5 minutes.
Well, I was right in my prior assumption. It is, in fact, a prediction of a future, though. A future that might not yet come to pass. As it stands, we're still on track for this future. Things... Do you know this woman? Have you met her?
I don't think so, no.
Perhaps that is the next step you must take. But on the other hand, perhaps meeting her is what leads her to her demise. Have you met this Minotaur?
Yes.
Does he seem aggressive?
He seems misunderstood.
It could be our fault.
Well, perhaps you've played into fate's hand, Fuvius.
Nah, he was like that.
Have you done things that would make him want to dig graves for you?
Well, that might be a little bit extreme.
I don't think he's on our side.
No.
Well, I mean,
No.
he seems grumpy, overworked, perhaps.
No.
Lonely.
Right.
A hurt soul.
You should meet him.
I
Invite
have
him
no
over for
interest
cards.
in that.
Of your magic items,
Yeah.
what sort of things?
I inherited quite a bit of a stock from an old acquaintance of mine who will say he's not dead, but he's no longer with us. It's complicated. He used to walk around in a mausoleum with legs.
No.
Not dead. I inherited his stock, more or less. These are items from Beyond the Fade. Basically, these are items that the audience made up, and now she sells them. Because I couldn't justify shoehorning Mavos in. But, so, I have a couple things. I have this. I have the Flask of Stars, and she pulls out a flask, which is bronze and slightly green, with sort of small decoration of stars over it. It's an old Iluithian relic. To drink from it will give you the ability to see the future, in a sense. I have this, and she pulls out a harp. This is the Harp of the Songbird. The same songbird that, I guess it was 15-ish years ago, staged that coup to kill that member of the Exensor Legion. This harp is not nearly as blood-soaked as his legacy. He left this one behind when he pursued his passionate violence. This allows you to, if you play it, it allows you to see hidden things where you might not have been able to before. This, and pulls out a brown glove with a red hand embroidered on it. It came with the name, Mavos named it the Handy Mitt, but I hate that, so we'll just call it a glove for now. It allows a sorcerer, wizard, or a warlock to cast various hand-related spells without using spell slots. And this, another glove she pulls out, is a black glove with gold claws at the fingertips, with topaz embedded in the palm that sort of looks like a bird's eye. Is the magpie's claw. You can use it to claw. I mean, it works as a weapon, but it also has the magical capacity to make items appear in your hand from somewhere you can see. If you're into stealing things, perhaps this is good. And I have one other thing, but I don't know if you're ready for it.
What? My potions are too powerful.
What?
Nothing, I'm sorry.
You can show it to us.
I think we're ready.
She pulls out a sleeve of cards and then puts it away.
Was that a
Do I recognize? Do any of us
Oh,
recognize?
Absolutely, you know
There's
what
some
that is.
Playing cards?
Hmm.
What-
cards built for playing with fate, yes.
I don't want those. I don't want any of us to have those.
How much for? Hi, my name is Finn. How much for the magpie glove?
That will run you 20,000 gold.
Cool.
It's a relic. It belonged to a very famous thief back in the day. I don't remember the name.
How much for the other glove?
The-
Glove of gloves.
The glove of gloves. That'll run you a simple 1,000 gold.
What's the cheapest item you have?
The flask of stars is 250 gold pieces.
Does anybody like? How much is the harp?
The harp
song.
is 1,000 as well.
We could chip together some money and buy somebody the flask of stars if someone was just to see.
We don't. Oh,
Combined, we have green to the
As of
floor.
right now, we don't really need to see the future.
no, I mean,
I have 250 gold.
I see the future if we have a fortune teller in town.
I'd wager this won't be the last time we cross paths. So keep these things in mind. Perhaps one day you'll be in need of them, and next time we meet, I may have more.
Well,
Let's be responsible with our money.
It's
Budget
as,
it.
it's as simple as this. If it's 200, if the thing that lets us see the future is 250 gold, that means we would have to come here a lot of times before it cost us more than just buying the flask. So it's cheaper to just come here.
May I ask you about the symbols you have on the walls and around your carriage?
Oh, I collect these things in my
Have other
travels.
people from town come to purchase those from you?
The symbols?
Yes.
Well, I suppose a few of them. I have some relics. I picked up some of these off of some corpses I found, and she holds up the symbol of the Vanguard the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw
and this is the symbol you saw on the guy that she has.
That would be the one.
Yeah, the symbol of the Vanguard of Light.
It's unlikely they. Okay, it's unlikely he came and bought it from her this morning, but I just had it on him and
Yeah, it's
you found
because
some dead ones.
yeah.
Never mind.
People buy trinkets and odds and ends from me, but I take you all as a bit higher up on the food chain. That's why I'm offering you my premium wares.
Super. I think we should head out.
Yeah, I think
Because we come a little early.
I suppose. Maybe I forgot to look at the document that had the prices on them.
Has everyone liked this shopping episode where we didn't buy anything?
That's why I can't make them 20 minutes. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. I will probably be leaving town fairly soon, but I get the sense we'll meet again.
Where are you headed next?
Wherever the wind takes me.
We'll be expecting you.
Alright.
Okay. Now, if you don't wish to purchase any wares or have a fortune told,